Do you suffer from an unrealistically padded resume? Perhaps you've told all of your YouTube subscribers that you're an ace on computers, but you're not at all. Well, we've got the solution for you. This is the lowest budget IT information resource this side of the solar system, guaranteed. Hello everyone, we're going to begin with connectors. We're just going to... Is this for real? Is this for real? Well, actually my monitor's right there, but is this for real? Cadet Collins. Who the hell is Cadet Collins? AV Club? Wait, you had like a high schooler do this? You spent your budget on me? Oh, that's you. Oh my god. Okay, alright. Well, I can see this is gonna be a shit show. Let's just get this thing rocking. Okay, the ATX 24-pin connector should be the largest connector on your power supply. If it's not, you have a modular power supply and you need to look around in your box and find it, plug it in, and then it will be the largest connector. The ATX 24-pin connector supplies -12, +12, 5 volts, and 3.3 volts to your main board. It also has the pins that turn the power supply on. Also worth noting, this connector cannot be installed backwards without the use of a hammer. Okay, now we're going to move along to the CPU power connector. This connector provides 12 volts and ground to the main board, and its purpose is to provide supplemental power for higher wattage CPUs. It was around the Pentium 4 era, I believe, when this connector started showing up on main boards. Like the ATX 24-pin power connector, it is keyed in such a way that it cannot be installed backwards without hitting it with a large object, such as a hammer. The 8-pin CPU power connector just provides additional 12-volt and ground lines to the main board. This is to facilitate even higher wattage CPUs. As stated before, this connector can also not be installed backwards without a hammer, and is worth noting that a lot of times it will be separated into two connectors that are 4 pins on the end of the wire coming out of your power supply.
I'm just gonna sneak in here and what the... Oh shit! Oh god! Oh man! Oh man! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh!
Oh man. Okay, the PCI Express 6-pin/8-pin connector serves very much the same purpose as the CPU power connectors do, except in this case we're providing power to video cards. The reason it's called the PCI Express power connector by so many people is because originally, and this will be coming up, the 4-pin Molex was used to provide power to, for example, AGP video cards. The PCI Express slot itself provides 75 watts of power in the spec. The 6-pin connector provides an additional 75 watts. The 8-pin connector provides 150 watts. This connector also cannot be installed backwards. The SATA power connector provides 12 volts, 5 volts, and 3.3 volts to disk devices, for example, hard drives, SSDs that aren't using M2 and that sort of connection technology, and optical drives, which nobody knows what those are anymore. What are you going to do? So this connector also cannot be installed backwards without usage of the gauntlets of ogre power. What the f***? What is this shit you're putting on the prompter? What the f*** are gauntlets? Is this... That's some kind of Dungeons and Dragons shit. Oh my god. The SATA data connector provides a data connection to SATA devices. For example, drives, non-M2 SSDs, optical drives. Okay, another thing worth noting, cannot be installed backwards either, and some of them will have metal clips on them. If you pull on the connector and it doesn't want to come out, don't keep pulling until something gives. Ask me how I know that one. But another thing worth noting is that kids these days don't know the pain of ribbon cables and trying to have airflow in a case around those damned ribbon cables. What are you gonna do? This is the 40-pin ATA ribbon cable. Probably an 80 conductor variety, which was used for Ultra ATA 66 and up. There's something I thought I would never say again. So, with these, they can be installed backwards depending on the device. They do have a key at the top and sometimes a missing pin. But depending on what you're plugging them into, the thing you're plugging into may not necessarily have the keyway or the missing pin. When in doubt, one of the wires on the cable will have a stripe. And that one will go towards pin number 1 on the connector, which should also be labeled. And if it's not, good luck. The 4-pin Molex provides 12 and 5 volts. It is the old school old man connector for pre-SATA hard drives, pre-SATA optical drives, pre-PCI Express video cards, and I have occasionally seen them for supplemental power on even modern main boards. I think this is for the fan buses, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Also worth noting, this connector, you've got it, cannot be installed backwards. The 4-pin Mini Molex connector was the old man connector for floppy drives and Sound Blaster Platinum drive bay adapters. An interesting story, I have recently seen one of the newer members of our PC enthusiast community plug one of these into a 4-pin fan header on a board. Apparently it does fit there. And it didn't strike me as odd at first because I've seen supplemental power connectors for fan buses and the like on main boards. And of course it was causing a no post condition. So remember that, just because it fits doesn't mean it goes there. Let me know when, it's time to f***ing be professional. Just let me know, because that's what I got f***ing hired for, okay? When it's time to be professional. This is the IEEE 1284/DB25 cable. Back in my day, we just called this a printer cable. Don't be so quick to throw out old printers such as this, because to this day, some of the best values for money you can get are these old workhorses. And organizations who do a lot of printing, who learn this lesson, save a lot of money. The USB-A connector is the thing that's on the end of your mouse and your keyboard. This thing defies any understanding of modern engineering, as it requires 3 attempts to plug it in. A modern mystery for sure. This is the D-Sub-15 or VGA connector. An oldie but a goodie. Sends analog video signals. Has problems with high resolutions and distance. Nonetheless, pretty ubiquitous still. A lot of cheap projectors, that sort of thing, you'll still see them. Lower end laptops, you'll still see them. Good to have around. This is the HDMI connector. If you haven't seen this, you're not trying, friend. This is pretty much the standard in home entertainment. Current implementations of it support ultra high resolutions and high frame rates. Highly ubiquitous. Please, please don't pay more than $15 for an HDMI cable unless it's really long. Please. It's digital, okay? It's digital. This is the 3.5mm or 1/8 inch stereo connector. This has been around as long as I've been alive. Walkmans, portable CD players, all these headphones, they all had this stuff. This also is a standard connector on any mobile device that is lacking courage. Considering human hearing itself is analog, I'm guessing it's going to be around for a long time, despite marketing pushes toward the contrary. This is the PS2 connector, named such because it was the mouse and keyboard connector on the IBM PS2. This is still used by enthusiasts today because of its ability to, if I'm not mistaken, I believe every key on the keyboard can be registered simultaneously. If it's not that, then it's way up there. I think USB's limit is 5, but I don't know this kind of stuff off the top of my head. I haven't been a hardcore gaming type in a long time. This is the RJ45. It's the connector that's on the end of your network cable. The smaller one that you'll see on phone cables is called the RJ11. Wired will always have advantages over wireless, barring some physics-shattering engineering revolution. There's going to be a lot of these around for a long time. Thank you for watching Module 1 on connectors. You may notice that there are connectors missing. Absolutely. We were trying to cover the connectors you would see oftentimes while performing upgrades and the operation of a computer day to day. We will delve into things like CPU sockets and that sort of thing when we get more into the building / major upgrade side of things. Thank you very much for watching.